Hi, I'm Joe Albrecht, Managing Partner and CEO of Xengage. We are joined today by Becca Box, Director of Digital Marketing Growth Services here at Xengage.
Hi, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. Thanks for being here. We want to dive into the topic of analytics, so foundational and important for B2B organizations to take advantage of these analytics programs and actually use it to drive their business and grow online revenues. What we have found in working with many clients over time is that having analytics connections in place and capturing data is just the beginning. It's not sufficient to truly understand web performance and then take strategic measures to actually perform online selling and drive more revenue through the platform.
That's correct. Yeah, you're exactly spot on there. And this is especially true in the B2B space because GA4 out of the box is primarily built for B2C. So kind of like we talked about in our last episode, you can't capitalize on other digital marketing and e-commerce tactics and improvements without having a solid foundation for analytics in place. So you're missing out on SEO, digital marketing and advertising in terms of Google Ads, and even comprehensive UX design without having that solid foundation.
You can simply not improve what you don't measure.
Exactly.
It's quite clear, but still, I think a lot of opportunity to do much more in that area and help clients put that foundation in place. Okay, Becca, let's explore some of the benefits that this comprehensive analytics program at Xengage provides to our clients.
Yeah. As you know, obviously B2B organizations operate with distinct requirements when it comes to their e-commerce programs, and that is also true of their analytics as well.
Absolutely. Nothing could be more specifically tailored to the organizations we work with than the analytics needs and programs. So what is our approach in understanding what they need and defining that unique program?
Yeah, so we start with an audit, a very comprehensive audit, and that audit has the goals to establish that your data is reliable and consistent, that the relevant metrics are in place, and that data tracking and reporting is anchored to your digital marketing and e-commerce strategy.
Mm-hmm. And when you say reliable data and consistent data, can you give an example what you mean here?
Yeah, so in terms of data reliability, I'm referring back to the data layer. So you'd be surprised at how many times I've seen a client with a purchase event that fires 3 times upon one actual transaction happening on the website.
Well, making 3 times the money.
Yeah, if only that was the case, right? In terms of consistency, I mean that we get our metrics and data across so many different places, and that can honestly be one of the frustrations that people have, because if you have one platform telling you one thing and the other something else, well, which one's right?
Yeah, and the big one is here to make sure that the online order reporting is consistent with what the ERP says.
Correct.
Great. So how do we go about the audit from a technical point of view?
Yeah, so we do an in-depth analysis, a lot of testing, and a thorough review of your data layer, of Google Tag Manager, of GA4, and of your overall website as well. And from that audit, we actually learn what you currently have, we identify what needs fixed, and then we also see what you need based on your unique business goals as well. And that's probably the biggest benefit for a B2B organization.
That's also where I think our integrated set of services comes again to bear, because what you are doing then translates to the development team to implement additional tags and really build out this very, very unique tailored program for each of our client organizations. That's great. So what is then the final outcome of this initial audit and process that you put in place that will then enable the collaboration going forward?
Yeah, so we develop highly customized reporting in a reporting suite that allows your decision makers to gain insights, to understand what works and what doesn't, and ultimately provides the foundation to derive all of your subsequent actions in digital marketing and e-commerce efforts. And an important thing to note too is we develop these reports for the person who is in them day to day, understands them so specifically. However, we also develop reports and specific pages as well that is more made for the C-suite. Someone who needs to go in, answer a question, and get out. And they're not in there every day, and you don't need as in-depth of a knowledge as well. So I think that's one of the big benefits for a lot of our clients too.
I love that point that you're making, that the C-suite can benefit from that work just as much as the digital marketing managers who drive the tactics and the strategies. Not unusual to talk to clients and finding that while they are strategically all aligned behind e-commerce and B2B e-commerce and that the importance of it, often they don't know and don't have visibility into the actual month-over-month revenue performance or online growth, whatever metric it is. They simply don't have that presented.
Yep. And we've seen too that actually gets kind of more convoluted over time, which is why we start with the audit process and we establish really clean and reliable and consistent data so that we can grow these reports and the reporting that you need as your business goals change and grow as well. I've got reports that start at 15 to 20 pages and they grow into like 40 to 50 page beasts.
Right. So Becca, let's talk about what are some of these benefits of the analytics reporting suite that you put in place beyond the ability to track online revenue growth.
Yeah, for sure. So we can actually understand many different aspects of the buyer journey and specifically the B2B buyer journey. Because there's the obvious, right, where you're determining where your customers are getting stuck in terms of the checkout process. That's probably what most people are thinking of when they're thinking of the buyer journey. However, in B2B, you also really have to consider things like, is the customer registration form too long? That's a big piece of the buyer journey in B2B. And other things too that kind of come into play, which are like products on your on-site that are being searched for as well.
Right, so to then increase maybe the catalog or add these products. And beyond that, let's call it conversion-based tracking and in the insights about how customers go through the site, what else can we gain from it?
Yeah, so specifically on the acquisition and behavioral side, we can obviously understand where everyone's coming from. But we can also then take that a step further and understand what interests they have once they get onto your site as well. And that's the obvious. Are they looking to make a purchase? That's also things like training materials and resources. They might be looking to learn more. Or maybe they're engaging more with your thought leadership, for example. Researching products as well is another big one we see in B2B. Are they looking for specific categories or specific suppliers? Or maybe you need to enhance your product specs, for example.
Right. And even in the self-service area, which is so important B2B, understanding what capabilities do they use after the order is placed, right? Are they paying invoices? Are they using VMI capabilities, et cetera, et cetera? So ultimately, all these insights lead then to enhancements and optimization opportunities.
Yeah. For example, engagement with training materials and resources can lead you to offer better product information, or maybe add additional video content, which is an investment. You want to make that decision based on numbers. You can also onboard new product categories, maybe based on on-site search that didn't yield either the results you thought they were going to, or maybe people are searching for keywords on your site that you wouldn't have thought they would come to you for, and that can allow you to expand your product categories. Another one would be reducing friction on critical interactions, such as your registrations, which we already kind of touched base on.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for all the great recommendations and giving our audience an overview of what's possible with holistically integrated 360 analytics that really gives you the full picture of what's going on with these digital web properties. It also goes to show, by the way, for the importance of a partner who can then take these insights and really immediately act and improve the UX, use research with your customers to drive additional capabilities, maybe, or features, implement those, use the internal development team to further enhance the analytics and gain more insights, etc. pp. So with that, we really hope you enjoyed this content, and if you are interested in learning more about Xengage, visit our website www.xengage.com, follow us on LinkedIn, and we would look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.